Hey, you're just about ready to listen to the Little Carnival, where we're covering 2 shows that are coming to the TLC network in 2020. Enjoy the show.
Come one, come all, step right up to the Little Carnival. If you love to hate the reality TV shows on the TLC network, get it, TLC, the Little Carnival, then this is the podcast for you. And now, your hosts, stars of the Ugly Truth podcast, it's the Uggs.
Welcome to the Little Carnival, an offshoot of the Ugly Truth podcast. We are here to talk about all of the insane reality television shows that TLC produces, the ones that we can't help but watch. Mostly polygamy shows, but there's a new one coming out. So this episode is about the 2020 season because all of these shows are premiering in January. So we wanted to take a minute to talk about 2 of them that we're kind of interested in. The first one is getting a lot of press right now because of, well, you'll know why. Debuting Tuesday, January 7th, TLC introduces Hot and Heavy. And Hot and Heavy is Love Knows No Size. See the highs and lows of their mixed weight relationships on the series premiere of Hot and Heavy. They're couples where, shockingly, only the woman is morbidly obese and the man is normal looking.
How did I not know that was coming? As soon as you said reality, and I'm like Hot and Heavy, I'm like, okay, this has to be about someone large.
It is, and it's women, of course. So they're getting a lot of constructive criticism on social media because everyone is so kind and normal and balanced in social media. They're saying, of course, it's only the women that are heavy, and it basically should be referred to as, hey, fat people need love too, and all this other stuff.
You know, you can't get a winner when it comes to weight things and reality, and because was it Jillian Michaels? Is she the fitness person?
Yes,
she came out I want to say like a week ago. And she was at some conference or something, and she says society is glamorizing obesity. And she says it's an unhealthy trend and it should stop. And I commented on the article and I said, I don't think she's horribly wrong because I feel like, there is a lot of encouragement to, accept me as I am and, I'm beautiful no matter what. And I'm not saying people aren't beautiful or anything like that. And I said also, I don't think anybody should be shamed for anything because I think that's just mean. But right. I do think people should be encouraged to, look after themselves and take care of themselves.
Well, here's what's interesting. I was curious. I'm like, well, to me, what I'm seeing in this show is these are men who would be considered not fat or anything. They're just, actually, some of them are in very good shape and they exercise and they work out. But there are men who are sexually attracted to women who are obese. It's a fetish. But here's something else that I found interesting. It says a 2009 study found that the heterosexual male preferred females that were clinically overweight and rated both overweight and obese women more positively than slighter individuals. The study also found that participants reacted positively to a much wider range of figures than a control group, even rating emaciated figures higher. It concludes these findings suggest that an explanation for fat admiration may be that fat admirers are rejecting sociocultural norms of attractiveness. All that really means to me, and excluding morbidly obese women, I think men in general, it's just primal. Men find women who have bigger hips, bigger butts, bigger boobs. They are probably more likely to be able to carry a baby for full term. They're probably, they've got those baby making hips, that kind of thing. I think that's kind of a, I just think it's like a primal human species thing. So and there was a time period when
go ahead.
There's a time period when women who were very overweight were considered far more attractive than women who were thin and tan, which is funny how it's all reversed now because women who were heavy and pale were probably from affluent families and were much more able to have children and stay healthy, whereas women who were thin and tan were probably malnourished and had to work all the time.
Well, I told you when Victor, every time he goes to the Middle East, if there's an overweight woman, she's highly regarded because
yes,
it means she does come from like you said, an affluent family, and it's probably from wealth and is very healthy because she's well fed and, gets a lot of sleep or whatever. But
so I was looking at the trailer for this show, Hot and Heavy. First of all, it looks heavily scripted, even though they say it's a reality show. It looks heavily scripted. For example, there's a lot of scenes where these people come in and these unsuspecting patrons of a restaurant are staring at this couple eating, or they're on vacation and they're sitting on the beach together and someone yells, "Hey, stop, put down the food, fatty," and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Does that happen all the time? Do people who are morbidly obese get accosted in public like that? I don't know. And then, of course, the families are upset about this choice. And, so there's a lot of overweight women crying. And I don't know. So I'm going to watch it. I don't think I'll like it. And I thought it was funny that it's only the women that are overweight. If a man is morbidly obese and a woman is normal size, it's 600-pound life. It's not the same.
Well, I think it's because men tend to be more physical creatures, and so it's not uncommon, but women are not to say that women don't have physical needs as well, as far as appearances, but appearances aren't everything to women, whereas with men, appearances mean a lot to men.
So if they have a fetish, this is perfect for them.
So if they're with a large woman, there's obviously a reason, because
they've got something.
There's something about that. And what I was curious about was men who are with super skinny women. Part of me wonders if that's a learned behavior, because
maybe,
I don't know if by nature that's something that most men are attracted, or if they just have conditioned themselves to believe that is the key of beauty, is being super skinny with big fake boobs or something like that.
Well, I saw a scene where this man was massaging her leg hands and feeding her things. And I'm like, okay, I think I get the gist of what this is. So I will be watching the first episode. If I can get through it, we'll see. I'll know fairly quickly how scripted or how real this is. So we'll see. January 7th, Hot and Heavy. We'll find out. Let's see if TLC has the balls to actually air it, because right now they're getting a lot of backlash.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see. All right. And of course, our favorite, the Sister Wives are returning.
I can't believe it. I'm shocked.
Another season. January 5th, the new season starts. And this is what it says. The Brown family has struggled with their finances for quite some time. It looks like the move to Flagstaff will strain the Sister Wives' pocketbooks even more. For one thing, Janelle says in the preview, selling the family's real estate in Vegas proves to be far more difficult than they imagined. Now, because I follow them off season, and it's not hard to get real estate information. All of their Vegas homes did finally sell, and two sold right away. Mary's and I believe Christine's did not sell for a long time, and then they finally did. They were way overpriced, but they finally sold them for just under 500 or just under 600,000 each. And so they're clear from Vegas. So now they're all in Flagstaff. But there's been a lot of stuff going on. Like, Robin completely dropped off the face of the earth. She does not do social media at all. And Mary has been a traveling fool with her LuLaRoe business.
Yeah, what I noticed is that little video you sent me. A lot of the video they have, it's almost a year old, and so
it is. Yes.
I'm kind of curious if there was contract negotiation issues, or if there was concern that maybe they weren't going to come back, maybe not all of them had signed on yet, or maybe what was going on. So I think the video we're going to see is actually going to be pretty dated.
It is going to be, well, especially if because a lot of them have social media. Like Maddie, Janelle's daughter, has had a second baby, and the baby is a little girl, and she has significant health issues.
Oh, really?
Yes, she. I can't remember the name of it. It's not. This is just a. It's the what's the word when they come up with? They take all of the letters of the name and they create a new name. What is that?
An acronym.
An acronym. The acronym is FATCO, but it has nothing to do with fat. It is. She was born with one finger and her one arm, her one leg has like no bones in it. Like, it's really bizarre.
Well, didn't they move to like South Carolina or something like that?
They did. Yes, they did. So I guess she's healthy. It's just all this other stuff. So she'll probably ultimately have to have her leg amputated and, prosthetics for her hands and stuff like that. But I guess mentally she's fine. It's just physically she's, malformed. And so they're dealing with that, which is awful. That guy she married does not have good genes. That's all I can think.
Well, he's from Montana.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but I mean, he has significant health issues. That's why they keep moving. And then, she is from a polygamous family. There's a lot of cousin marrying. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, she didn't know the guy very long, and
I'm just saying,
think he also had polygamy roots too. I think.
He might. I'm just saying there seems to be some incestual potential. I'm not saying they're incestual. I'm just saying there's a lot of genes that have not been shared outside of this community.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if this is one of those things that you risk.
She was really super young. I mean, she was like 18 or 19 when she had her first...
She was 18 or 19 when they got married.
When she had her first baby. And then, so she's only got to be 20 to have her second baby now. I mean, that's like pretty...
I think she's like 23, 20. Yeah, Anyway, so that we will see all of that happening on this season. And then there was this one, I don't know if you watched the trailer, but Cody said something really mean to Robin.
Okay, I was confused by that, to be perfectly honest, but go ahead.
He's like, you got the scraps of you got all the leftover scraps of my wives. What more do you want? And I'm just like, what? What does that even mean?
Okay,
like,
so,
he's giving her more than everybody else?
No, I think what he meant by that is because he says you're constantly defending Mary. And I think what he was trying to say to her is, you get the leftovers constantly. Why are you continually like taking second seat, or fourth seat constantly? Like, you get the leftovers already, or you did. So why are you constantly putting yourself back in that space, to people who don't even care or something like that? That's kind of how I took it.
Oh, see, I got the impression that basically I saw it in a different way. I saw it more like, I've given you everything and more compared to everybody else. Why are you doing this? You're number one, and I'm giving you everything plus, and here you are doing this.
No, see, that's what I thought at first, but then when she said, well, sister wives just disenfranchised, meaning like we just kind of, take second saddle or whatever. And so I think what he was trying to say is like, why do you keep putting yourself, in like the middle back seat,
Interesting. We took that so differently.
To everybody,
because no one likes her and she's treated way better than everybody else.
Like, I've given you nothing but scraps the whole time anyway. And, basically I've treated you like crap, like this whole time. and you just continue to treat yourself like crap. And I'm trying to do a good thing for you. And you're refusing to accept it, basically.
Well, because, why? Because they're not monogamous, and she has 3 other people that she has to face when he's not around.
And I think that's probably why. Well, and I think she also already had that feeling, that pressure of feeling like she was the favorite anyway. And
she is the favorite.
And she has a lot of guilt of being the legal wife, because she took that from Mary.
Yeah, she got everything she wanted, and she's acting like, I never asked for any of this. And it's like, actually, you did. You actually did ask for this, but now you're getting it back because these other women are like, we ain't going anywhere, bitch. So, yeah, you may get all you want from the man, but this is a polygamous relationship, and there's more than just the man.
And see,
and now she's getting it. I think she's getting it.
I don't think we got to see all of that manifest after they got to our wherever they are. What's the Flagstaff. I don't think we got to see a lot of that manifest. So this is when we'll get to see it on this video.
It'll be interesting. And then there's also been talk that she's pregnant again, but she's 41. And not that that's old, because women can have,
but this will be like her 5th or 6th child, won't it?
I believe it would be her 5th. But I don't think she's pregnant. Apparently she has some health issues. She's got some lung. I don't know. She's so fucking high maintenance to me. I'm just like, oh my God, I'd be so sick of your crap. I'd be like, what is it today? Honestly. And, I know a lot of people have health issues, but they don't like go, well, I'm really struggling with my breathing today, so I think I'm just going to have to step out and not participate. And she does that a lot.
Yeah.
She does it a lot. It's her way of getting out of stuff that she doesn't want to do.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is that, look, if she's got a son that's autistic. She already had, did she have 3 going in or 2? I can't remember.
She had 3 going in, and now she's had 2.
She's had 2 of her own.
Yes.
She has 5. If she was pregnant, that would be a 6, and she would be in her 40s. And then not to mention the stress of the other wives, because they already despised her. And not Janelle, but Christine definitely did. And Mary...
Janelle doesn't give any shits at all.
Janelle, I think, gets to do her own thing anyway. And
she does. Well, and Mary does too now.
Well, that's because Mary's checked out of the family altogether. She's just like, fuck you guys. I don't like any of you.
I mean, honestly, the only thing that's going to change is when she actually meets someone she wants to fuck, and then it's over.
If she hasn't already. And so...
Well, that's true. That's true.
So, and
they really worded it really well, and they said she's part of the family, but we don't act married. And I'm like, well, that's a fair assessment.
So I don't think they'll ever exile her.
No.
I think if there's ever a departure, it'll be on her part.
Absolutely, and I think she will. I think she will depart. I just don't know when. And actually, I was reading something, and it said no one's going anywhere until this series is over, because now it's not just a polygamous family. Now it's a money maker. Now they're making money off of their marriage, and they're kind of tied.
Well, it's the same thing that happened with the Goslings is that
yes,
Kate
exactly.
and John, mostly Kate, made it to the point where she's just like, I can't go back to being a nurse, and John can't go back to being IT. And so she's just like, we have no choice but to continue to do the show. And that's when John's just like, no, that's not true. He says, you just don't want to go back to the life that we had to keep, and go back to the jobs that we had.
Right.
And
well, anyway, with that being said, our time is up.
Oh.
But that was our quick preview of the 2 shows that we will be talking about. I'm sure that there will be more coming out that we will dish on in 2020. But those are the 2 that we specifically, I wouldn't say excited, but we are intrigued by. And I'm so much looking forward to the Sister Wives to see that shit implode. It'll be great. And seeing how much they can hide their smiles behind their smiles. We'll see.
Kind of sad to see what reality TV does to people and to families.
It does. But, I'm here for it. So
Sure.
We're watching it. All right. Well, thank you, Paula, for checking in. And we will be back with another TLC in 2020.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the greatest show on earth, the Little Carnival Podcast. Subscribe to The Ugly Truth on your favorite podcast player, and you'll never miss a show. Visit thelittlecarnival.com for details.